When you're training, whether that's lifting, running, etc., you need to be pushing yourself so intensely. Like every time you train, it should be painful. And I don't just mean like, oh, like you feel a little burn. Like, no, you need to be pushing to yourself to where you think you cannot go any further and even try to push further past that. In the gym, we like to talk about training to failure. Well, what is failure? It's basically we cannot physically do another rep, but like you still do that rep anyway, even though you can't do it. That's what basically pushing to failure is. And that's how we need to be treating our training in general. The gym in general is painful and it hurts to train. Like that's just kind of how it works. It's just the basis of training in the gym and running and like all these forms of training is that you are just going to have to push yourself and it's going to be painful. But that pain is kind of where the growth is. When you experience that pain and push yourself towards that and fighting through that, that's kind of how you know that you're going to get growth out of that. Because you're not going to grow if you're not pushing yourself to a point that is hard or difficult. So instead of like treating this pain as like something you have to deal with, and it's like, oh, I gotta like deal with this pain now and whatever, rather, I would kind of frame it as like good things never come easy. Like they just don't. Like for good things to happen, you're gonna have to work for them. You're gonna have to go through pain for them. They're not easy to attain or get. So I would use that more as in like an encouragement to just like get at it, go after it, and accomplish those goals and like fight through that pain and almost like attack the pain in a way. Like with that mentality of like just attack the obstacle. Like just fight through the pain. That like pain is basically the opposing force trying to get you to stop. But you need to instead just fight through that because that's where the growth is that when you say no to the pain, that's where the growth is. Whether it's the gym, lifting, running, like even in life too, like all aspects of life, this rule applies. So like rather than treating the pain as like something that's gonna slow you down, you should look at the pain as like, oh, this is a time for growth. A lot of the times we see pain as a time for growth. That's where a ton of growth comes from. So if we look at James 1, which is one of my favorite passages in the Bible, but specifically verse 2 and 3, consider it a great joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you experience various trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance. So basically, this is just supporting what I've said of various trials. So like pain, for example, in the gym, is what produces endurance. That pain that you have to fight through, the trials you go through in life, whether it's your faith or in life or like in the gym and your training, that is what produces endurance. That is where the growth is. Like without trials or hardships, we wouldn't grow. We wouldn't challenge ourselves at all. We wouldn't grow at all. We wouldn't have to adapt to new difficulties. And then no growth would come from that. Pain is kind of where the growth comes from. You kind of have to have that in order to grow. You can't just grow without any pressure, without any need to change or be better. Like relationship with God and Jesus, it isn't easy. It is definitely hard. A lot of the times, it's very difficult, but we know that on the other side of whatever we may be experiencing in like this life on earth in general, that we will come out better on the other side. Like there's so many adversities and trials and tribulations, we can come out so much stronger and so much closer to God as well through them. And a small passage from Zechariah 13, first part of verse 9. I will put this third through the fire. I will refine them as silver is refined and test them as gold is tested. We're basically built by fire. When you go through the fire, you're going to be built by it. You're going to be refined by it. Like that's how like swords are made. Is like they're put through the fire to make it stronger. And like as humans like experiencing that through life, it's obviously not fun when you're in the fire. You're in the trenches, you're fighting for your life or whatever, and it's not fun. It sucks. It sucks in the moment, and like that's just how it goes. But when you eventually come out on the other side, you oftentimes realize, oh, I'm actually glad I went through that, even though it wasn't fun in the moment. Like I'm actually glad it happened because it made me stronger. And like with every lift, especially like leg day for me, is that sometimes I'm like, I really don't want to do this last set of squats. Like this is gonna be terrible and like whatever. But I push through it and I end up completing it and like pushing myself to the hardest, even where I didn't think I could mid set. And by the end of the leg day, I'm tired, my legs are shaking, whatever. But at the end of it, I'm like, I'm glad I pushed myself then. Like, I'm glad I get to reap the benefits of the extra effort I put in. And oftentimes, our training can be a test for how strong we are. Like, just like gold is tested in here, like, oftentimes the way we train or the way we approach a certain problem can be a test for how strong we are and how we're going to persevere through it. And finally, Philippians chapter 1, verse 29. For it has been granted to you on Christ's behalf, not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for him. Suffering for him is part of the journey. Suffering in general is also just guaranteed. There's going to be points in life where you suffer, but really the question is, how are you going to adapt to it? How are you going to approach it? How are you going to handle it? That is really the big question. It's not, oh, what do you face in life? It's, how do you handle what you face in life? Like, what I have written here as a low note is that following God isn't always easy. Like I said before, oftentimes it's going to be very hard. That's kind of the point behind it. But suffering isn't always pointless. Oftentimes there's an end goal in mind, or something that you are going to gain from the suffering. Like, when we're going to reap what we sow, you will like reap the benefits of whatever suffering you have, because that produces endurance, and testing your faith produces endurance. It all has a point in the end. Oftentimes, if we're smart enough, we can turn our suffering into something to better benefit us in the end. But oftentimes, if we just sit in it and like don't do anything with it, then we won't get anything out of the suffering, because we don't adapt to it well, we don't attack it well, we don't attack the problem and just be like, okay, this sucks, but what can I do for it now? What's the best course of action now? And kind of as a bit of an encouragement, verse 30 says, since you are engaged in the same struggle that you saw I had, and now hear that I have. Christ has gone through everything that you have. There isn't one thing that Christ hasn't gone through that you have. He's gone through everything you can possibly imagine. He knows the solution to every problem you have. Like, there is nothing he hasn't been through that you have. Whatever problems you're going through, he has gone through that as well. So as a little bit of an encouragement that you can lean on him for anything you have in life, and he is there and he can help you. It's not always going to be the answer you want, to be fair. Just keep that in mind. It's not like just a genie is just going to like solve your problems. Like, no, you are going to have to sit in them and solve them. But God can help you, and God is always on your side. And if we just look at the big picture, Jesus went through so much for you so that you could have a relationship with him, so that he could be in your life. Like, that's such an incredible gift. He paid the ultimate price and made the ultimate sacrifice for you. The least we could do is just give it our best, even if it's painful, in the gym, in our training, in our dieting, in like whatever life throws at us. The least we could do is take that opportunity and just try our best. The least you could do in the gym is give it your all, even if it hurts, even if it's burning, even if you think you can't do it, even if like you want to throw up or whatever, like just give it your all. Like, leave it all out on the table. Try your very best. Leave nothing in the tank. So something I often tell myself when I'm in my last set and like it really hurts, so like I know I can push myself as far as I possibly can and like leave nothing out, leave it all on the table, is I tell myself that, hey, this is gonna hurt. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna hurt, but it's gonna be okay. You'll make it through. And like, Jesus went through so much pain. Like, I can never imagine the amount of physical, mental, spiritual pain that he went through while on earth, and just all of his time on earth. Like, so much betrayal, so much hurt, and just like bearing the cross, that like he can do that. And like, he is in me, and like I can push through that. I can just finish out this one set. Like, he went through so much physical pain that I can definitely just make it through this one set and find the strength to push to my fullest capacity. Christ died for me, and he can strengthen me as well. He is always with me. And like in the gym, whether it's like, I specifically use this a lot during dumbbell shoulder press for some reason. Something about like the last rep, I don't know what about it. It's almost like one of the hardest things besides like squats or something else. Something about that particular exercise. I don't know why, but I often use that for that of like, okay, this last one is really gonna burn, really gonna hurt, but it's okay. And God has given us an amazing opportunity to train our bodies to like really steward our temple. So like, let's take advantage of it. Like, even if we don't feel like pushing ourselves, like, let's do it anyway. Like, do it tired. Like, it's such a great opportunity that we should just take that opportunity and be grateful for the opportunity and do it even if we don't feel like it. It's such a privilege to discipline our bodies through Christ. And it's something that I'm so grateful for every day. God, I just want to thank you for the viewer of this video. And I just want to thank you for the opportunities that you give us to train our bodies and discipline ourselves through you to get closer to you. And I just pray that you would continue to be with us while we train and helping us push ourselves to the max so we can really reap the benefits that we sow. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.